Hello, welcome back to PHI and PPE. I'm Amy Wood, and I have the lovely Deanna Otts Whitfield here with me. And this is the Copper Penny podcast. Today, Deanna, we are going to talk about the compliance cobwebs that are in practices
Oh,
and how we can use spring as an opportunity to do a little cleaning. How's that
that
sound?
sounds like a good idea. People are on spring break right now, and some offices are closing, some are half-staffed. So this is a good time for team members to get together, look over things, making sure everything's in place, in order, rummaging through that supply closet and cleaning out all the old cobwebs
Hmm. And literal cobwebs too, please.
and literal cobwebs, which I found one underneath my kitchen table last night. So
It is
I need
spring.
to do some spring cleaning at home too.
Yeah, yeah. If it stops snowing enough,
Isn't that the truth? Is it
right?
snowing down there for you? It's
No,
snowing up here.
no, we're just getting lots and lots of rain, and we'll have a tornado watch this afternoon. It's
Oh,
the
fun.
it's the battle between winter and spring, and it changes
Yeah.
every day. Sometimes it snows, sometimes it's rain, sometimes it's lightning and thunder, sometimes it's hail, and sometimes it's scary winds.
And sometimes it's 70 degrees and sunny.
Yeah, yeah, it it just wakes up one day and says, "This is what I'm doing today." And then a couple hours later,
Yep.
it says, "I'm going to do this instead." And now we're officially in the Midwest because we're talking about the weather.
That's very true. I will never say that Texas weather is crazy ever
Yeah.
again.
Well,
Midwest weather is something else.
it's not boring.
No, it's not boring at all.
Well,
All
if
right.
you were to give five tips, like what are your must clean areas in the practice or must do tips for spring cleaning?
I would say I've talked about this in the past. I want offices to go around and check their sharps containers. Make sure that they're not overfilled, making sure that they are sitting upright, making sure that people can't reach their hands inside of the containers themselves. Another thing that offices should be checking is their eye wash stations. You never want to be in the middle of an injury or an accident and need to utilize the eye wash station, and the little holes where the water comes out are filled of gunk and dust, or better yet, water hasn't been filtered through there and it's just nasty water shooting in your eyes while you're suffering from an injury. Another thing and another thing and another thing. PPE inventory. Check for expiration dates. Make sure that you have enough PPE, that the PPE that you have on hand is adequate for the procedures that you perform in your practice. Different levels of masks, different types of gowns and garments, different types of gloves for different procedures, things like that. Another thing, safety data sheets.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. That's okay if you still keep your safety data sheets in a large binder. But you should be making sure that you have the most up-to-date SDSs for the products that you're using. And they need to be the brand of the product that you're currently using in the practice. Safety data sheets can also be kept electronically online. So if you've got a folder that you can put on all your computers, that way all your team members have access to those safety data sheets, that's a good idea as well. And then along with sheets, let's talk about sterilization logs. Those need to be kept up, maintained, and retained anywhere from 12 months to 3 years, according to what your state is required to keep. And there's still practices out there that are not keeping adequate logs. So we need to be documenting every time that we run a cycle. We need to be documenting when we clean our sterilization chambers, whenever we perform any kind of maintenance on our chambers. Of course, our weekly spore testing needs to be documented as well. So this is a good time. Once again, offices, if they're on breaks, um, have a skeleton crew come in and look around the office and check things.
Yeah.
I'm sure HIPAA always needs a refresh. What are some of your items on your list?
The quick, easy wins, I would say starting with auditing access. Look in your practice management system and see if there's any former employees that need to be removed. Often we forget about that,
Oh,
right? If there's any
yeah,
passwords that need to be changed from that person's access, from any websites or anything you go to for the business. Um,
yeah.
Second one is passwords in general. It's anything that's shared between users or in a password manager. It's a good time. At least once a year, you should be changing your passwords entirely. Uh,
Hmm.
Probably more given how the current global climate is right now.
We're not
There's
going to talk about the current global climate right now.
no, no. We're going to go
But
back
you're
to
right.
talking about the weather when we talk about that.
But you're right. You're right.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary. So, changing your passwords, it's quick, it's easy, and it's a fast win.
Mm.
I would say kind of my third one would be do a sweep for all your devices. Anything that's mobile, thumb drives, backup drives, laptops, tablets, old phones, anything like that. If you're still using them, are they encrypted? And if
Mhm.
not, are you disposing of them the right way?
I
So,
see. I
yeah.
see.
Or is your strategy on it just vibes? I don't know. I'm trying to use the cool kids lingo.
The cool kids
I'm not
lingo.
doing well at it.
I know. I need the slang dictionary up right now.
Oh, yeah, I can't keep up with it. And I can't bring myself to use the word skibbity.
Skibbity. Is
Uh-huh.
that what they're saying now?
Oh no, they're doing 6 7, 6 7.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I would also say checking all your business associate agreements
Mm,
and especially with what's going on in the industry right now and the proliferation and adoption of AI with a lot of vendors asking more questions about how those integrate and what's going on there. I mean, start with the business associate agreements, make sure you have them. That's the easy win. After that, you can go down the rabbit hole and work on it a little harder. And then I would say another easy win, especially for my admin people up front, just be aware of oversharing verbal protected health information and not yelling across the office, something that you ought not to be.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's very true. That's very true.
simple, easy wins.
Simple, easy wins.
Yeah.
I want to add, now's also a good time, and you mentioned it earlier. We're going into a new season, and we recently went through daylight savings time change, checking batteries around the
Ooh,
office.
yeah.
Um, Anything from your exit signs around your doors, your exits, to your AEDs, anything that contains a battery, making sure that those are up to date and that they're fresh and make sure they need to be changed like they're supposed to be.
Even
Um,
clocks.
Even clocks.
Yeah.
Yes, even clocks. Yep,
I
for
still
sure.
have one in my kitchen that's not the right time and it throws us off every morning. We're like, oh
That's
no, we're an hour late for school.
that's actually a good one. Yes. And luckily with our computers, they automatically change. But yeah, we have clocks around the office
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, I would also say looking through our paperwork, it's not a bad
Hmm.
idea if it's a little slow right now while people are waiting for their tax refund money to come in and do their dentistry. Take a look at your policies and procedures. Are they all current and up to date? Like I just mentioned, AI is becoming huge. Do you have policies on that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about your housekeeping plan? Every office should have a general housekeeping plan that outlines what needs to be clean and how often and with what. So this is a great time, especially if the office is closed over spring break. Pulling out your housekeeping plan. cleaning that office, whether it's wiping down walls, cleaning blinds, laundering blankets and pillows, things like that, just general housekeeping duties, because there's not enough time in the day when we're working and we're seeing patients and we're having to do all the other stuff. Downtime is always a good time to find something to clean. If you can lean, you can clean.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I have a good one about
Okay.
documentation. If
Yeah.
it's not documented, it didn't happen. We all know that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if it didn't happen, it definitely didn't protect you,
Oh, wow.
right?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
We need to come up with some CPC isms.
I know. I
Yeah,
know. And put them on buttons and stickers.
totally should.
New idea.
New idea, Alicia.
I would also say with your forms, get rid of or archive any old forms. So recently, just last month in February, no, 2 months ago in February, I don't even know what month it is. Uh, in February, we had the updated HIPAA notice of privacy practices.
That's
So
right.
if you have the old one, just archive it. We keep copies of all of those for our clients,
Hmm.
but yeah, just get rid of the old stuff, purge, archive, do whatever you need to do, but
Yep.
out with the old, in with the new.
Out with the old, in with the new. We've got seasons changing, weather's changing, trees and flowers are blooming. We're going to be going into a busy season leading up to summer. Kids are out of school, teachers are off work, college kids are home, and your offices will be busy. So now is a good time. Take a breath, do your cleaning, clean up and tidy up some of these areas that we're discussing, and you'll be set for a busy summer.
That's a good thing. It's a good feeling to do that
It
deep
is.
clean and that reset.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, just pick one drawer, one system, one policy, and fix
Right.
those.
And fix them.
That's the easy win. Just pick one thing and it will snowball from there.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love this episode, Amy. This is a great one.
This is
This
actually fun.
this
We
is
should do
a,
some seasonal ones.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What do we
Definitely.
do in the winter? Oh, you got the winter blues? You
Mm-hmm.
tired of digging out just to get to your car?
Right. Yeah, gosh, we could do, environmental safety, like
Yeah.
making sure that everything is backed up in case there's an ice storm and power fails.
Or there's a hurricane or a tornado or whatever,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay.
wildfire.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had
Oh,
that happen.
there was one up here in northern Minnesota or central Minnesota just this past weekend.
Yeah.
They got it under control, but it was a big deal.
Yeah.
So,
It's scary. The
oh,
winds, we get those straight line winds and they're a little sketchy.
they are. This is a great episode. It's probably one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah. Well, and I like being able to just kind of talk it out and go through the things that we do for consulting, but also a lot of people just tend to overlook and forget when we're busy doing the day-to-day, you know,
Right.
what we're supposed
Right.
to do during the day.
I
So
know.
it's a good little reminder, and that's what we're here for. That's
Yeah.
what we're all about at Copperpenny.
Yep. So
All
if you
right.
have any questions, you know where to find us. We're on all the social platforms. You can email us, you can text us, you can call us. We will be more than happy to guide you through any of the questions that you have or concerns. And of course, if you want to sign up and become one of our clients, we can give you all the insider trading that that we offer.
Oh, no, no, no. We're compliance. We don't do insider trading. We have
Not insider
knowledge.
trading, but all the inside knowledge. All
Yeah.
the inside knowledge.
All the
Yeah.
stuff the general public doesn't get.
Well, Amy, I enjoyed talking with you today. This was a great episode. Thanks for joining us on PHI and PPE. Are we still calling it that?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for joining us on PHI and PPE. And until next time, I'm Deanna Otts Whitfield, and
I
the
mean,
wonderful Amy Wood is here. You know where to find us.
Thank you for joining us. For more information, please go to www.copperpennyconsulting.com. Bye.